2:03. I don't want to waste any more of our time because we have about a 45 to 50-minute window here. So feel free to interrupt me or Christina as much as you possibly like. This meeting is about all of you and a great place for you all to share ideas and chat. We're not looking to yammer at you. That's not fun for us. We probably do that to you most of the time anyway. So now's the idea share time. We just wanted to cover a couple of things quickly because it's stuff that you all had noted. So back on our cool opportunities that we talked about last time, just remember our Weed Out Impaired Driving Challenge ends in just a couple of days. I feel like we've been talking about this since the dawn of time, but we're almost there. Deadline coming up. I gotta be honest with you, not too many entries. So you have a really good chance of winning something and taking it home since there's 10, 11 prizes for this one. And they're pretty big. So I would highly recommend if your students have some time in the next week to put in those PSA entries. They're really simple to just submit your idea for this challenge. And then you'll find out, in the next couple of months who our winners are once we weed through all the weed out entries. There's that. Really punny today. Don't forget we're going to Disney as if you could. July 13 to 16, our national conference is scheduled. And no, we're not canceling. That's it. We're going no matter what. If you need a hazmat suit, we don't care. We're going. Just be sure to register your students and sign up officially through the SADD portal. If you don't know what the SADD portal is, you need to talk to me or Christina. There is a whole guide on all of our Disney fun, so stuff for advisors, stuff for students, stuff for caring adults to know. Again, if you don't have any of that, please let us know.
I will also add real quickly, we do, depending on the state, also have some funds built in to send some students and advisors to Disney for free. So connect with, Lauren and I about any opportunities that might exist in your area.
True story. Who doesn't want to go to Disney for free? And then we've got our PVSA awards. Don't forget about those. We're about halfway through or a third through the year of the PVSA award gathering time or volunteer earning time. I don't know what we call it. But make sure that they're keeping up with their hours and tracking those so that they can submit them before September 1st or whenever they reach their level that they're looking to achieve. So let's chat about what you want to chat about. When some of the folks responded to the form we had out there, this is what came up as the top things we wanted to talk about this month during our chat. So mental health programs and activities. Yes, fully want to talk about that. COVID concerns, we all have them. Coping skills, I might need them soon. And substance use, I'm assuming prevention, and then how to acquire free or cheaper resources. So I remind you again that we did start the Slack channel for anyone who wants to chat in Slack. It's a good time to chat with each other, kind of throw ideas on the wall and see what sticks or get some feedback from other advisors across the two areas we're covering. But please, if you have anything you want to chime in on these current issues, go for it, opening up the floor / the room, and then we'll dive into some more stuff later. Good to see all your faces.
I think it's a bad sign when nobody has anything for mental health or coping skills. Well, we're all in this together is what the silence is really saying. We all really are struggling and need as much help as we can in terms of figuring some of these things out. I know Lauren will talk a little bit later on about some opportunities that we have. And for anybody that hasn't had a chance yet to check out our mental health toolkit and resources, that is a good place to start. I see a lot of my faces from my different coalitions on here, so I know you all are plugging away in terms of substance prevention. Anything going on out there in your worlds that you want to share?
Please do.
I'm forever an optimist. So the good news is we've got the prom and it's happening May 28th and it's at Thompson's Point, which is like this huge outdoor venue in Portland, Maine. And this is my third time chaperoning. So I'm so thrilled because last year they had to have a secret parent planned prom. And so now it's a school sponsored one. So just thinking about that, back in the day, we used to go around to the tuxedo shops and floral places, florists, and we have a bookmark that says, and I can maybe put it in the chat, it's called like Make the Prom a Night to Remember, and just reminding people of that prom is actually a riskier night than graduation. And in South Portland, they raised 20 grand for Project Grad, and they sweep them away as soon as their gown comes off and keep them up till 3 a.m. out somewhere doing bowling. And I don't know, it's all secret. But then just thinking, wow, we don't really put anything into the prom, and the community doesn't put any, resources really into prevention that night. And it's not just for prom goers, but other folks who didn't go to the prom. So just kind of excited that that's gonna, that we're having the prom, and then just hopeful. The other key thing that we're excited about is in March, we have a senior parent night for parents of seniors. And the last few years we've gotten to have a little airtime, about a half hour. And I just talk a lot about like life after high school and the brain and, choices. We also have a card I can put in here too. It's called Who Knew? And it's a rap card that used to be called meanly, Your Degree Doesn't Matter. It was in red. This one's in red too, but it was kind of shaming sounding. So instead we changed it to Who Knew? And it's about, if you were to get a criminal record after the age of 18, there's a number of careers you might not be able to get. And I usually do it in health class and have a little role play of someone in a job interview coming up and like, hey, and it just unfolds strangely, but I'll put that in the chat. But those senior parent night is just critical. Again, we haven't had it in, I guess, almost 2 years we didn't have it, but that's a critical transition. So the parents love that Who Knew rack card. The kids are like, yeah, whatever, it's never gonna happen to me. But like if you get operating under the influence in Maine, you get a star on your license for 10 years. You can't get into Canada for 10 years, just stuff that you wouldn't know about until you get one. And so I'm just very hopeful, and I'm going to use your resources for these things. And Christina gave me a huge, heavy box of stuff that I'm going to bring to senior parent night and, disperse because I was just on a webinar just about how important parental attitudes and disapproval of use is such a huge protective factor. And so just reminding parents, like back in the day, I'm old, and I know when I was right before my senior year in high school, I got a suitcase for Christmas. And those were the good old days in the 80s when your parents were like, when you're 18, get the hell out, you're done here. Nowadays, kids come back and live with their parents till they're in their 30s sometimes. And so their parenting isn't done anymore at just 18. That ship sailed. So I think just kind of shifting our attitudes to knowing parents have an influence even after they graduate. So I'll stop talking, but I'll put a couple things in the chat that people might want to steal or borrow. The prom bookmark and Who Knew?
I love that.
Yeah, those are both great notes. I love talking to the florists and the tuxedo folks again. It's a resource that we didn't take advantage of a lot last year because there were no real sanctioned proms. I was unaware of the underground prom that took place, but we also at SADD do have a big list of prom and graduation activities that I can send everybody out to. I'm sure it'll be in the newsletter in the next coming months here. So that's a good note.
Yep, we have that. We have our Please Return on Monday kit that one of our SADD Missouri, I believe, put that together. So a lot of things come out of there. And then we've also got some of those cards, the Gift of a Lifetime cards. We have social host stuff. So we'll put all of that in Slack and stuff also, so you guys can take it and run with it. And a lot of it's been Canva-fied now, so you can kind of take it and make it what you want of it too. Love that.
Canva-fied.
Any other great stuff that you're using on like mental health or coping skills, substance prevention that you want to share? I know I see a couple DFC folks here, a couple youth engagement folk. Anything working really well? Anything working well enough to get by right now?
So up here in Aroostook County, just today I sent to 5 parent-teacher organizations, SADDs, why be involved in SADD and the contract for life, with some other brochures and pamphlets and that sort of thing. So I'm hoping I can get the parent-teacher organizations involved. Struggling a bit up here with getting into the schools. So I'm trying to think of a creative way to get into the schools. So I did that today. So
I love that. Get into the schools to do what?
pretty much teach, I mean, Prime for Life is a struggle. I know up here to get into those schools to be teaching that. I don't know if that's happening elsewhere, but it is up here. I did some Holton, down to Holton, which is the southern part of Riverside County. I did some marijuana education with the 6th graders, but that's about it. So far.
Nice. Do we have any good marijuana prevention programs? I know there's a lot of folks looking for that sort of approach right now.
I created my own with, just, great sources, NIDA, NIH, all of those, SAMHSA. And it went over well, and it was like 2 parts. So I know there's a marijuana toolkit that PTTC has put out, but I haven't had a chance to look at all of that, honestly. So
Yeah,
that's the big thing.
And there is, I was going to say, there is a new Prime for Life 420 curriculum that we are now allowed to use. And that, it's long, it's 12 hours, really 10 virtually. But that's been okayed by the state of Maine to use. And anyone who does instruct the Prime for Life program is already trained in this and can go ahead and use that. So that's a really good thing, especially for violations where a student might really need more of that intervention piece.
Mm-hmm. Nice. I'll touch a couple of the ones that are on that list since they're staring at me on the side here. As far as mental health programming goes, as you know, SADD is trying to move a little bit more into the mental health space based on what our students have been telling us. So we do have the guide Christina mentioned earlier, our resource connection, which really puts a lot of things in one place for folks. If you haven't seen that, let us know. But we are also offering mental health first aid trainings now as well. So we have adult, youth, and teen mental health first aid available at this time. It is being run through our national folks, so just be aware it might take a little bit to get back to you and figure out how we're going to structure the classes. But we are hopeful to also then offer that to the youth directly. So that's another way to start thinking about things. And then we are big fans of the Our Minds Matter organization. They have a really great guide I will put in the chat or in the Slack later. So you can check that out. There's tons of activities and things you can do, and they have a similar structure to SADD, like the chapter model, where you can do one of these activities, take it, leave it, whatever, but some really good, easy things you can do. Anyone have any great mental health things that are working right now, or things that you're just implementing through SADD that are fun? Don't all yell at once, guys.
I guess I'll share something.
Yay, love bravery.
So we're also having trouble getting into our schools, just with whole COVID and school shutting down again. But we actually got into the teen center, which a lot of our high schoolers go to. And so we're attempting now to implement this sort of mental health, take something, leave something program. So that it's like the sticky notes, and they can leave a message and take a message that they need for the day, which the kids are really excited about. So we're going to start that in the next couple weeks.
I love that. Do you have a site you're using or something that showed you how to do that?
It's past experience, and it's kind of, they designed it.
Nice.
It's evident, they found evidence to support it, and other schools that did it. And so I kind of let them run with it because I wanted it. They're really excited about it.
I love that. That's awesome. When they complete stuff, definitely send us pictures and what worked best, successes, things that didn't work so great, so we can replicate those kinds of things, because that's what this group is for, to be able to take those kind of things and run with them. I love that. Anyone have any other chat pieces on these couple of topics or things you want specifically that we can hunt down.
I would just say at our Boys and Girls Club, we have a really cool new young teen director, and he's been doing meditation Mondays, and students are really getting into it. And that's, usually a higher risk population of teens. So he's had some good success with that because some of the students are vaping, stuck to their phones, like he has to pry it out of their hands to do other stuff. But, I think we could teach skills that they could carry on down the road and not just in this moment. I think that's really key right now too. And what a time, I tell you. It's hard to get people. We have yoga instructors that come into our ELL classes now this year. So they taught just the girls, and then they also are teaching the boys right now, kind of separately. And these are for new Mainers, so they're immigrants and refugees. And so that was really good too, to like that they really liked it. Unfortunately, a lot of those students who took it are now at other schools. They're very transient. So, but they're doing a huge bulletin board on the benefits of yoga and meditation. So hearing students do it, not like old people going, it's really good for you. I think coming from the students is really, which is what SADD's all about.
Yep, 1000%. Kara, I saw you unmuted. Do you want to talk?
Hi, I feel like I'm new to SADD compared to some of the others on the call. So, but I'm happy to be here. And I wanted to just say in our infancy, we have a senior, Braden, who put together a doc about like how to navigate through the SADD classroom for all of our other youth. And so I want to share that with you guys because it was kind of cool how he broke things down for the other youth to be able to pull things out of the classroom. So I'll throw that up in the chat. And the other thing is we are working on a mental health campaign for the last few years, actually, and it's gone through different renditions at the high school and our middle school. But right now I can share with you, we have decals that we are about to put up at our middle school. And let me send those to you. Let's see if I can just share this. We share a Google Drive, me and I usually work with 8 to 12 youth every week. So I'm in there trying to see if I can copy this link for you. But we're gonna put these up in the middle school, probably on the cafeteria walls, and then at the top of the 7th and 8th grade stairwells. And then also the youth are creating flyers to remind students like who they can talk to in the school if they're having an issue, where to go, what times. So we're just north of Boston and do a lot of youth-led work, but I'm just trying to get more acclimated to all the SADD resources because there's so many and I really want to incorporate a lot of them moving forward. So
good. That's awesome. I love that.
Share.
Of course. Thank you for sharing. And that's the bonus, right? We all don't have to reinvent the wheel. We all have something that we use that works or that hasn't worked, and we can kind of share that too. But that's the great part of these sort of collaborative things. Any other feels at the moment? Okay. I'll tell you what we kind of came up with, I guess we'll call it, for the next couple of months. And then we can like kind of chat through what that looks like, some stuff that might be going on for February, March, which, I mean, you'll all be getting the nice communications calendar again and some newsletters from me and Christina to say like, hey, here's some stuff you can do. But it's sometimes better to talk about it. So, and what you all just mentioned too reminds us that, SADD doesn't have to be these big grand gestures all the time. It can just be the small things. It can be leaving a rack card. It can be leaving a poster somewhere, and you never know how that's going to impact anyone in your district or your community. So it doesn't have to be like these big events all the time. It can be those little take one, leave one kind of things that make an even bigger impact than those big things. So in February, we're going to be focusing on Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. That's that big acronym, and Random Acts of Kindness Day. So you can start sharing some social statistics or stats on social graphics for teen dating violence awareness promote the helplines that are out there. That's like really easy stuff. Put up posters, put out rack cards, get in touch with your local teen dating violence or domestic violence organization. See what they have, do sort of a partner program, or see if your SADD students can help out with whatever they're planning to do. That ties in very well to SADD's work with healthy relationships as well. So you can see if they'll be willing to come in and maybe do a program for your SADD chapter or teach your SADD chapter how to do something specific. You can also check the RAC Foundation, Random Acts of Kindness Foundation, for some really easy and fun things for that day. They have great stuff on there, really good ideas. Has anyone used their stuff before? Okay, definitely recommend checking them out. They're really fun. In March, so those are like small February things if you want to just like pick up something quick. We also have our guide from last year on the Safety is Love campaign, which was a whole bunch of really fun graphics and things you can print out that are traffic safety based and health safety based. Like little Valentine's Day cards, more or less. I don't want to call it Valentine's Day because it's not like necessarily a holiday, but they're just cute. You can use them as like a fundraiser opportunity where you like sell Valengrams, or you can just pass them out, or you can just use them as social graphics. It's a really easy campaign. There's a whole guide on that also, so we'll make sure to put that in the Slack too. When March comes around, we're looking at the National Drug and Alcohol Facts Week, which many of you probably have participated in through NIDA. NIDA? Yes. Okay, I'm seeing nods. And then drowsy driving prevention, because we're looking at Daylight Savings Day coming in also. Yay. So sharing information on like drowsiness and sleep hygiene and awareness. Like we need to be more conscious about our sleep. That ties in really nicely with our mental health programming and how much sleep we're not currently getting because of everything that's going on. So it'd be a good time to like highlight that through SADD. I can't even see the rest of my notes down here. National Drug and Alcohol Facts Week will also be hosting a contest. So we'll be putting information out about that too. So if your students are interested in that, give us a shout. Questions, comments, concerns on some small activities?
I love the little non-Valentine Day gram thing. I just love it. I just think it's such a nice little, way to get students involved. I remember getting carnations in my school. You could buy a carnation and you'd get so excited when they'd show up with all the little cards from your friends. So I just think it's such a easy way to get students just to kind of connect and say something nice about each other and to give them some information and a little bit of just a nice little boost. And I also think that the sleep hygiene thing, oh my goodness, we all need to think about how we're sleeping, and it's tying it to driving safety is such a smart idea, but oh my goodness, we're all zombies right now. So I think that's awesome. Yeah. Not anything helpful, just kudos to these great ideas from Lauren. Yay.
So keeping along the same themes, if you want to do like a little bit of an upscale activity, a medium activity, if we'll call it that, you could do a orange ribbon donation drive for Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. Donate those proceeds to a local organization, like really highlight those orange ribbons and boost the orange in the community. Or even start a kindness challenge in your school. There's some really great, again, information on the RAC Foundation. I also put out recently some kindness grams. So if you don't like the Safety is Love campaign, that's totally fine. You can use kindness grams or create your own or whatever. Have a student in school create one. Love that idea too. And kind of pass them out and make sure everybody gets one. So you can, make sure the students have an option to purchase them if they want, send 52 to whoever with a carnation, but make sure everyone in school gets a gram of some kind, so it doesn't look like we're targeting one over the other. For National Drug and Alcohol Facts Week in March, there's going to be a ton of stuff coming out from them. They do have a Kahoot contest that you can run. The Kahoot's already made. You can do it as a fun challenge in your school or with your community. If you have like a little prize bucket, you can offer some prizes to the top winners or whatever of the Kahoot that day. It's a really easy one and it's already done. I love when that happens. I'm kind of seeing my notes on the bottom. Sponsor a wear pajamas to school day for, I'm assuming that's Drowsy driving. I'm sorry, when you share, you can't see anything. It's really annoying.
Yep. Pajamas to school day promote safe sleeping behaviors via hourly announcements.
Oh, okay, perfect. So if you have options to put out announcements or even social media, post things hourly on safe sleep, better sleep hygiene, drowsy driving, you can do that and then do like a wear pajamas to school day. Like if you do X, Y, and Z or whatever, you can make fun ways out of that. I'm going to take a break for 2 seconds. Sorry. I hear my dog and I'm like, no, she needs to stop. Christina, I'll let you keep going. Maybe.
All right, so for our real go-getters, our big activities for February, train with SafeBay, which is funny that Lauren took a break during this because she knows about this organization. So we'll have to come back so she can explain it, but it is a national organization that we're working on partnering with. They have a ton of awesome opportunities available. You can also work with your admin to mass email students with kindness initiatives for the week and sponsor prizes. If you need prizes, talk to Lauren and I. We have a lot of resources that we would love to pass out and help you. Pizzas, gift card, t-shirt. I've got it. Ask me, I can help. For March, you can host an assembly speaker to talk about drowsy driving dangers. And then you could plan a week for drug-free events with help from NIDA. So there are a lot of options. I know the large events look a little intimidating, but really, even if you only have 2 or 3 students that are actively participating in your chapter, you can still engage the whole school on a broader level with just a little bit of work. So if you need help organizing any of that, just let us know. We're happy to. And then Lauren, if you want to talk a little bit more about SafeBay, since that was kind of your jam.
Yeah. So SafeBay and I have been chatting. They are a national organization. They stand for Safe Before Anyone Else, BAE. They are really prevalent up in our Northeast area, so I'm super excited about that, but they're looking to expand further. And basically they run really similar to SADD on the chapter kind of structure, but they are focused entirely on dating violence, sexual assault awareness and prevention, and they train the students as peer educators to be able to facilitate programs for free. F-R-E-E, my favorite word in the whole language. They have a really great curriculum. I've actually already looked at their whole curriculum structure. It's developed by students based on a Netflix documentary you might remember from a few years ago, Audrey and Daisy. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Daisy is actually part of the development of this program also. So it's really cool that it's got a nice national tie-in and a Netflix tie-in. They have some celebrity backing as well, and that they offer this for free, because I'm not sure if I mentioned that, but it's free. So they have free peer trainings. You can become a SafeBay school, and they have an app that or community, sorry, SafeBay school or community. And if you choose to become part of the SafeBay system, they have an app that you can start tracking like all of the activities and stuff that you do. The students can become Bay Breakers is what they title the students as. Basically like they're big advocates, and they can earn swag and prizes and stuff from SafeBay for doing different activities and stuff in their school. And really they're all about, changing policy, changing ideas, changing minds to make sure that we are cutting down on our sexual violence, particularly within the teen demographic. That was a lot. But with, February coming up, our focus on healthy relationships, expanding, it's really important. This topic is near and dear to my heart. So I think SafeBay is a great organization. So if you're interested, let us know and we will get you hooked up with those folks. And we partner so nicely with them. Was that it? Did we do the rest already?
We did. Yep.
Cool. Okay. So those are kind of like a look at what you could do for the February, March time period in a small, medium, or large kind of way. If you want to make some money, who doesn't? You can use the candygrams like I talked about. It's a SADD sponsored activity. You can put your logo on it too. I'm not proprietary, I don't care. And kind of sell those as 50 cents, $1. Is it a huge money maker? No, but is it fun? Also, yes. you could do in March a St. Pat's speakeasy, which I think is just like a super fun idea. I totally stole from somewhere else. So you can do mocktails and fun games, encourage the students that you can have fun without alcohol, and, you know, just kind of like throw a little party by SADD. So I had fun with that one.
I will
Anyone have
also
any other great ones?
Robin on here, if everybody wants to just hit her bag, is a mocktail pro. So I know she's got great recipes for those. If you guys are looking for your St. Pat's speakeasy.
I think it's fun. Robin, if you want to send us mocktail recipes, I will gladly try them.
Yeah, they had some really nice ones.
Sweet. So a couple of next things that you can do, if you haven't already, I'm sure everyone on this call has been, you know, up to date, but please update your SADD membership in the SADD portal. We do this every year. This is about the time of year I start going through the portal and just like accepting everybody's students that are in there. So who knows if they're actually active unless you go in there and check it out. So make sure your students are in there, make sure they're registered and submitted. But once you do that, you know, you get access to even more stuff. If you need help accessing the portal or you forgot your password or whatever, just let us know. We're happy to reset things for you. Don't forget Slack. Slack is one of our new favorite things. You all can use it as much or as little as you like to, but I encourage you to idea share there. Like that keeps the conversation going outside of this every 2 month like meeting thing. And you can drop everything in there too. You can share all of your resources on there. It's a lot like Teams, if you use that at work, or what's the Google equivalent? Workspace, something like that. So you can literally share files, pictures, GIFs if you want to, whatever, get fun. And that's really it as far as like what I've got to share with you, unless we want to talk about specific things, which means I get to go back to normal screen.
Yay, you're free.
I'm free.
I will say too, we're always happy to help enter students into the portal. We have an easy breezy form that you can send us, so that way you don't have to go through and manually enter them all. We're happy to do that. I know a lot of my chapters are currently still recruiting students, so that's not necessarily an issue, but as you grow, you know, just let me know and I'm happy to put them in for you.
Yeah. Any other goodies we want to talk about? Thoughts, feelings, concepts, ideas, frustrations.
I would just say we've had to deal with an interesting conundrum this year of some of our students who have violated our school policy a number of times. And this is new to us. And so some ninth graders who are on like their third or fourth violation for vaping. And, you know, we use this restorative process and, you know, have a licensed alcohol and drug counselor and this whole process. And some of these kids have been through it a few times and it's not really working. So I guess what I would say is we're now moving towards who else in the community could be part of this work. And so I was sending Christina some of the names of our new teen director at the Boys and Girls Club, who's great, who I was mentioning about the meditation Mondays. And then we have another gal who's at the community center. We have a behavioral health liaison at the police department. So just kind of going, all right, let's add community service. And now I'm thinking like, not like as a punishment, because we don't punish, but like you have to be a member of SADD. You get the third offense. I don't know. I'm just thinking that creatively.
I call it mandatory volunteerism.
Yes, I'm writing that down.
Voluntoldism.
Voluntolding. But I think that we're going to see, it's just troubling to kind of then go, oh, wait, you don't get more than next year. Like you don't get like a reset, like you get another 3, like, you know, and just thinking about having to maybe change policies of because of COVID and it's a weird time. And some of these kids, they weren't just starting because they were having fun in the bathroom looking cool, like back in the good old days in 2018 and 19, but they were been using since 7th grade alone in their basement. You know, so it's just some different intentions of using than that we're not really used to. And we're also seeing a lot of defiance. So when students are caught, and pardon my French, but someone said, fuck no, you're not going to search me. To the school resource officer, we're like, I don't think you're allowed to say, I don't think you're allowed to not allow it, you know? So it's just like a new frontier that school folks are not used to. And so trying to, and you know, like we know capacity is down for staff. And we had one cafeteria worker for the whole middle school last week for one of the days. And you're like, oh, it's only 400 kids. That's not a problem. But anyway, just kind of, we need more right now, not less for kids. And it's really tricky. Like Robin was saying, it's really tough to get into the schools, or it's, you know, we haven't been to the middle schools. I taught a health class a couple of weeks ago, the 10th graders, and we used to go down when they were in 7th and 8th graders, our high school group would go down and do Jeopardy and prizes and ask anonymous, somewhat inappropriate index card questions, like, do people have sex in the hallway? And do you have to take gym? But we haven't gone, and now these kids are sophomores, and we haven't done a lot of the transition things like 8th grade step up night and the student involvement fair in the gym and come and get a tour of the school. So none of that's happened for 2 years. So I'm really worried about like long-term effects of this. We know that transition times are really critical for use. And so I'm just so glad, in summary, I'm so happy that we're part of SADD, and we need to beef up our sadness in a good way, because we need more of you, not less happening. Because you kind of go like, oh gosh, carnations, how many is that? You know, or like, it's a lot of work, but these kids need like 4 carnations, not no carnations right now. So I think that's the tricky thing, is finding people. And again, going, wow, we have some new staff in the community that are really hip and into stuff and full of energy. Let's make them help us.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, just capacity is really important right now. Not
It is.
less.
Yeah, for sure. I will say I have
Leanne, let's connect too, because I've got some stuff to give. I've got more stuff.
Yeah, I've got quite a few chapters that actually use that model of anti-defiance, I guess we'll call it. They have their social workers or their guidance counselors sort of push them the students that are edging to defiance, or have gotten a recent detention or whatever. They kind of see, you know, their path is changing, and they send them to SADD. And so many students have actually stayed through and become members of SADD year after year because of that. So it's a success story. So I recommend that. It's not for everybody, but for some. Yeah, that's a recruitment tool. I would also recommend though that you get involved in stuff like the things that have kind of been left by the wayside. So if you offer as SADD to pick up the new school orientation kind of thing, I have quite a few chapters that do that. The SADD chapter is the orientation crew. They work with the middle schoolers and throughout the year of 8th grade and like bring them up and get them familiar with their faces so they know, you know, who's in the SADD chapter. And then they do the freshman orientation when they come in, teach them how to use a locker or whatever. And then they kind of feel like they have a buddy, so they're not just walking into this lion's den of high school.
I love that.
That's awesome. I thought you said they learned how to use a walker. And I was
Oh,
like,
no.
oh gosh, well, I guess there's a need for that, but a locker, I got to get my ears on. No, but that's awesome. Great ideas. And, you know, those high schoolers love to go to the middle schools, or, you know, we need you to be a mentor. They get all, as long as I can have a microphone, you're like, all right.
Yeah, for sure.
You're hooked on.
Put them in the elementary school too. They love that. Do a lot of mentoring stuff. That's gold in my opinion.
As soon as we're allowed back in.
That's part of the issue. Yeah. But can you do like virtual story time right now or something with the kindergartners? Or can you do a virtual push-in in some way that, you know, maybe helps create that same sort of bond-ish?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
How are we feeling? I see tired faces.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we appreciate you all immensely, because we can't do this work alone. Christina and I drive around like crazy people across the whole state, and like, no, we can't do this. But we so appreciate you as our eyes and ears on the ground and like giving us this feedback, because that helps us create greater things for you all to use too. Obviously keep sharing everything. We want to hear all of your ideas and your successes and your failures, that too. It's really important. Or things that you might need help with. Like, I think this group is so important and it grows and changes each time we do it. So I love that too. But if you ever need anything, like, we're totally here for that. Or you want to hook up with social media. If you follow other chapters on social media and you see a cool thing that they're doing, either A, DM them and reach out to them and just say, hey, how did you do that? Like, tell your advisor to get in touch with me, or let us know. Like, we'll absolutely hook you up with that group too. I get a ton of great ideas from the students directly through social media. So highly recommend. Not that anyone needs to be spending any more time on their phone, but that. Cool. Christina and I will definitely put some things in Slack. We will take the things from the chat here also, make sure that they find their way into Slack. If you need the info on how to get into Slack, let me know. I'm going to put the slide deck, what are we calling it these days, into the chat as well.
Yeah, and I'll email out the recording and the Slack login at the same time once we've got that all set up.
Perfect. I love that.
Oh shoot, I swore, and it's recorded.
It's a
Just forget it, everybody.
I'm very good at editing now.
No swearing.
Don't worry, we're all good. We got the
I
beep
was at a
button.
meeting. I was at a meeting when someone was like emailed me, goes, let's not do our private chats because they send out the chat now. The whole group, you're like, oh God, but luckily it's the private ones they don't send.
I've always wondered about that because I have a lot of fun conversations on those private chats, and I've always been concerned, like, can the host see these if
right now. Yeah.
answers are right?
Technology.
That's what I got. If you guys want to stay and chat, you're more than welcome to. Christina and I are here for that, but whatever you need, don't be afraid to ask or reach out or share your good stuff or like literally brag about your kids. We love that too.
For sure.
Awesome. Well, we will send out the info for the next meeting also. You're obviously all welcome. Hopefully we start to see more folks coming around, sharing their ideas. Definitely join Slack. We'll send you all the stuff. Have a wonderful rest of your January.
Bye, everybody.